Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Please switch on your video. Okay. Did you read the textbook? Hmm? Any doubt? Yesterday's absentees? Mehak,
Yes, ma'am.
you were present yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Who was absent then? Grishma was absent. Elvina. Did you go through the text?
Yes, ma'am.
How was it?
Yes, but I didn't. The video is not uploaded.
Okay. Did you understand at least a bit when you read? Okay.
Somewhat.
Mm.
I'll watch the video.
Elvina?
No, ma'am. I thought that I would watch the uploaded video, then I read the text.
Okay, fine. If you have any doubt, please message me, okay? Fine. So we have completed levels of consciousness. We have also completed structure of personality. Which approach are we discussing?
Psychodynamic.
Psychodynamic approach. Okay. Now the third concept is ego defense mechanism. Write down ego defense mechanisms. Okay. Grishma, can you start reading?
Ego defense mechanisms. According to Freud, much of human behavior reflects an attempt to deal with or escape from anxiety. Thus, how the ego deals with anxiety largely determines how people behave. Freud believed that people avoid anxiety mainly by developing defense mechanisms that try to defend the ego against the awareness of the instinctual needs.
Underline that. Freud believed that people avoid anxiety mainly by developing defense mechanisms that try to defend the ego against the awareness of the instinctual needs. So in yesterday's class, we discussed that ego is the one who mediates between
Id and superego.
id and superego. And what this ego usually uses to escape the anxiety. So it's in a conflict, right? Our mindset is in a conflict, whether to listen to the id or whether to listen to the superego. So again, it creates a conflict or anxiety. So to defend that, ego has a tool, a set of tools. In the arsenal, it has a set of tools and they are called defense mechanisms, ego defense mechanisms. There are different types of defense mechanisms we use, but Freud has described about ego defense mechanisms. Okay. And why do we use ego defense mechanisms? To escape from anxiety. To escape the anxiety. Underline that anxiety also. Freud believed that much of human behavior reflects an attempt to deal with or escape from anxiety. Okay.
Thus, defense mechanism is a way of reducing anxiety by distorting reality. Although some defense against anxiety is normal and adaptive, people who use these mechanisms to such an extent that reality is truly distorted develop various forms of maladjustment.
Although some defense against anxiety is normal and adaptive, People who use these mechanisms to such an extent that reality is truly distorted develop various forms of maladjustment. What would that maladjustments be?
Not able to adjust with surrounding.
Okay, but from a psychologist point of view, if they are not truly attached to their reality, then what kind of maladjustment that would be? Read that sentence once more. It is normal to use some form of ego defense mechanisms to adapt to different situations, to reduce our anxiety. But what's given there? People who use these mechanisms to such an extent that reality is truly distorted develop various forms of maladjustment. Okay, so what would that maladjustment be, or what would you call it? Think out of the box. Come out of your comfort zone and think. Read that sentence 2-3 times and just see if you can get it. Any idea? There is a small clue in that sentence. Although some defense against anxiety is normal and adaptive, which means some form of defense mechanism we all use to escape from anxiety, which is normal, and it is adaptive because we have to adjust to different situations of life. But when people use these mechanisms to such an extent that their reality contact is completely distorted. Distorted means, what do you mean by distorted? Being distorted. It's changed in some or the other way. So the reality is changed, or it's kind of damaged or not in the real way. Then what would that maladjustment be? Yes, Mehak?
Painting or zoning
Huh? I didn't hear. I'm sorry. Can you repeat? Painting. No.
Living in an imaginative world.
Okay. But I'm asking, what would we assign a term to that maladjustment? What is that?
Inadaptive behaviors.
Let it be inadaptive behaviors. When a person has inadaptive, suppose if I have inadaptive behaviors, I have maladjustments. My behavior is in such a way that I am not in contact with reality. The-
Deluded. Sorry.
huh?
There's a word deluded. Delude.
Delusion.
Yes.
Okay, delusion. Then what is the term? We don't know about delusion. We don't know about hallucination. Nothing. But what would common man call me? Or how would common man consider me as?
imaginary.
Imaginary. Okay. Another, let me make most like it. I'll make it more specific. Hmm? I am standing here. I'm a teacher. I'm standing in front of you. I'm supposed to take psychology class to you all right now, isn't it? Instead of that, I'm turning this side. There is nobody in the class, and I'm simply standing and talking. And I'm talking in this way. Today morning I woke up, but before waking up I was sleeping. Then after waking up, was I sleeping? No. Was I dancing? No. Then I saw some flowers yesterday, but breakfast was very bad. Mm, it would be raining in America today. Am I in contact with my reality? Zoning out. Am I in contact with my reality?
No.
No. What is my reality here? I mean, what is supposed to be my reality here? Tell me, what is supposed to be my reality?
Teach the students.
Yeah, teach the students. I am in a class. I should know that I'm in a classroom setting. I have to teach. I have to complete the portion, isn't it? And instead, what am I doing?
Not teaching.
Not teaching, but instead of teaching, what am I doing? I'm turning the other side and I'm talking to some person. But that person is not here. The class is empty. I wish I could turn the camera. And suppose along with this talking, I'm standing here and dancing. Imagine that along with this. And after a few seconds, I stop dancing, I start crying. Again, I start talking to that person who is not here. Again, I start dancing. I stop dancing, I start laughing. After I stop laughing, I start crying. Am I in contact with my reality?
No.
No. Clearly, no. So, if a common man just passes through the corridor and the door is open and he or she sees me, what would that person say about me?
This person is mad.
Huh. Exactly. And for that madness, what term do we give in psychology?
Abnormality.
Abnormality. Otherwise,
Deficiency in something.
no. We have an entire chapter on this, I told you.
Psychological disorder.
Yeah. Psychological disorders. So these maladjustment, that is what I told you. It is the clue is in the word itself. It is okay or it is normal or adaptive to use some form of ego defense mechanisms. But when they use it to an extent, when people or individuals use it to an extent such that the reality is completely distorted, then that is leading them to certain maladjustments. These maladjustments can vary from very small level to a very extreme level. And for these, we discuss mental disorders or psychological disorders, or as Elvina said, abnormality. Okay, fine. Now, continue, Grishma.
Freud has described many different kinds of defense mechanisms. The most important is repression. In
Repression.
which
Wait,
keep
write
frozen
down repression, first one. Repression. When we discussed about unconsciousness, we discussed about repression also, isn't it? Yes, our unwanted or undesirable memories, desires, wishes, then ideas, all these are dash in unconscious,
suppressed.
repressed in unconscious, which means it is which means it is
Blocked from not showing off.
blocked from not showing out or blocked from not being expressed, isn't it? Blocked from being conscious. It is prevented from being conscious, but this is not done purposefully. Understood? That is why it is called an ego defense mechanism. Repression. Repression is an ego defense mechanism, and most of the ego defense mechanisms are done unconsciously. We are not consciously doing it. Okay. I told you in our unconscious set of that part of our mind that has lots of desires. There's instinct, the wishes, ideas, and all, which we are not at all aware of, and they are being repressed, which means that unconsciously we are trying to prevent them from being conscious. That is repression. Okay, continue.
The most important is repression, in which anxiety provoking behaviors or thoughts are totally dismissed by the unconscious.
Underline that. Anxiety provoking ones are totally dismissed, or they are prevented from being conscious.
When
Then,
people express a feeling or desire, they become totally unaware of that wish or desire. Thus, when a person says, I do not know why I did that, some repressed feeling or desire is expressing itself.
it's expressing itself, yeah. This example is not much appropriate, but I'll tell you. Suppose you have a friend, just a friend, okay, not your best friend or close friend or someone, but because of a silly reason, you gave a slap on his face. Just because he just poked you, or maybe just said a small joke or something, and then you got very angry, very furious, and stood up, gave a slap on his face. And later on, when you thought, why did I do this? Because there are people around you who make fun of you, even even in the worst ways possible. And there are people who physically hurt you also. But you reacted to this particular person only. And then you really think about it, and you don't understand why you did so. And when your best friend comes in, what were you doing there? Why did you do that? You just say, I don't know why I did that, but I just did that. That might be, I'm not sure, but that might be because of some unconscious motives which you have in your unconscious mind. Understood? Might be. If we have to make it sure that this is because of this, then you have to do psychoanalysis. Understood? Yes. Okay.
Other major defense mechanisms are projection, denial, reaction formation, and rationalization.
Write down that. Write down. First one was repression. Then we have projection. We have denial. Reaction formation. Please copy down to your lecture notes. You'll be asked to file them. So in the last minute, don't sit and write all the notes. Rationalization. Rationalization in some sites and some books, it's SATION. Another book, it might be ZATION. Don't worry, both are the same. Rationalization. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5?
Repression.
No. Yeah, that's only 5.
Yes.
Okay. We studied a lot. There are too many ego defense mechanisms. Only the basics are given here. Okay. Continue. So what is projection?
In projection, people attribute their own traits to others. Thus, a person who has strong aggressive tendencies may see other people as acting in an excessively aggressive way towards her or him.
In projection, what happens? For example, that is given when one person is having too much aggressive motives inside. That person tends to blame others that they are very aggressive. Okay. And when we study all these 5 ego defense mechanisms, note this thing, they are not doing it consciously. From the unconscious mind, this particular ego defense mechanisms are arising. They are not doing it on purpose. Understood? Suppose if I am angry and I know that I am angry and I'm just projecting to you, then that doesn't mean that's an ego defense mechanisms. Understood? That I'm doing purposefully, but that doesn't come under ego defense mechanism. For ego defense mechanism to work, it comes from inside. From inside our deep level of iceberg. I told you, no? That is unconscious, from our unconscious mind. Okay, fine. Next one, denial.
In denial, a person totally refuses to accept reality. Thus, someone suffering from HIV/AIDS may altogether deny her or his illness.
Yeah, a person who has this type of ego defense mechanisms, what will they do? They totally refuse to accept reality. Denial. I deny the fact that I have this type of reality. Example given is a person who's suffering from HIV/AIDS. That person completely refuses to accept that I have this particular disorder or disease. Another example I can give you. Yeah, a mother who lost her son. That is, the son passed away a few days before. The mom comes and she calls out the other family members for dinner, and she places a plate for her son also. The son who has passed away a few days back, she also places a plate for her son. It is a fact of denial. She's using ego defense mechanism of denial. Why? Because she is trying to deny the fact that the son has or the son is no more. Understood? Clear? Okay. Then reaction formation.
In reaction formation, a person defends against anxiety by adopting behaviors opposite to her or his true feelings. A person with strong sexual urges who channels her or his energy into religious fervor presents a classic example of reaction formation.
A person with strong sexual urges, what do? Is they take a very religious path. I told you before starting the psychodynamic approach, you may, most of the theoretical concepts may sound quite weird. Okay, just accept it because it's Freud's theory. Okay, and here the example is a person who has a lot of sexual urges, sexual desires, or sexual motives. What they do is they channelize it into the religious path. They channelize themselves into religious path. So what happens? They are supposed to suppress or repress their sexual desires and sexual motives and then follow the religious path. This is also done unconsciously. They don't know that they are having these sexual urges or sexual motives, and they don't know that they are choosing this religious fervor because of the unconscious sexual urges inside. Got it? Okay. Then
In rationalization, a person tries to make unreasonable feelings or behavior seem reasonable and acceptable. For example,
rationalization. Just a minute. Rationalization means making something rational. That is giving reasons. But these reasons would be utter nonsense. Understood? So something illogical, you are trying to make it more logical. Or something irrational, you are providing reasons and making it rational. That is rationalization. Okay, we'll see the example. Yeah, read.
For example, when a student buys a set of new pens after doing poorly in an examination,
Hmm.
she or he may try to rationalize her or his behavior by asserting, I will do much better with these pens.
Does that have anything to do with the pen? Hmm? Suppose if the pen is not working at all, then we can blame the pen, of course. You studied well, you did get more time to write exam, but the pen was not working. Then you can blame the pen. But the fact that you failed in the exam because you did not write the exam properly, I mean, you did not write the answers properly, then getting a new pen the next time and giving the reason that this time I will do better because I have a new pen, because I have this pen. Is that rational enough? Yes or no?
No.
No, because it's again a foolish reason. But what these people think is that, or the people who use this rationalization ego defense mechanism is that they will sorry, not fail, they will win the next time when they use this pen. Just because of this pen, they will pass the exam. So, which anxiety are they running away from? The anxiety that they have already failed in the previous exam. They are trying to escape from that anxiety using this defense mechanism. Which is a defense mechanism? Rationalization. Okay. So they are trying to console themselves that next time you will win or next time you will pass the exam because you have got a new pen. You have got rid of the previous one. Got it? Yeah. So which are the ego defense mechanisms we learned? First one is repression. Then we have projection. Then we have denial. Then reaction formation. Then rationalization. Uh, Another one, if you want, just note it. It is called displacement. Displacement. It's not there in the text, I think, but it's very common. Displacement. Any idea? Displacement. No.
Displace one feeling with the other.
Mm, for example,
Even if you're feeling angry, you don't show it off out so much. Instead, you act as if you're happy.
mm, no. Okay. I'll tell you. I'll tell you one example. One person hmm, was working in an organization. Okay, and this guy got lots of firings from the boss. Okay, and obviously the person is having a bad day altogether, isn't it? Then the person reaches home. hmm, the first thing that he sees is a flower pot. Okay, just as he opens the gate, he sees a flower pot. He takes it, throws it away. Then what he sees is his wife. Without any reason or just with some silly reason, this person gets angry at his wife. So what he is trying to do is the anger or aggression or disappointment that he has towards the boss, he is trying to displace that towards the other elements, the flower pot, and in this case, the wife also. Got it? That is displacement. Understood? Can you give another example for displacement? You all might have done displacement for sure. Tell me. Reina.
After getting angry at home,
Hmm.
after a great fight at home, we like uh, getting to school will be very angry, very moody to friends, not
Hmm.
very active,
Hmm.
very like um,
Ready like?
um, I not giving uh,
Even today you're displacing.
you- as if, you're acting to angry to mother and father, yeah, giving anger to friends and all.
Hmm. Okay. Other than anger, or if you have any other anger incidents, tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Okay, tell me.
I don't know if this is an example, but if you're scared of something, then you try to scare others also, saying that.
Hmm. That is in a way projection, right? Because you're scared of something and you finally end up scaring others, which means you tell that others are scared of it. Yeah. And I'll tell you another example. Uh, Me and my cousin, I have a cousin of my similar age. We are just 6 months apart. Okay. And I'm the elder one, she's the younger one. And one day, we were in front of a toy shop. Hmm? And we were in traffic actually inside a car, and we were in front of a toy shop. And she was trying to ask me, she was looking at the toy shop for a very long time because we were in traffic for a very long time. And we were kids back then. I think, I don't remember the age, but we were kids, very small. And then she was asking me, Sneha, do you want that doll? Because she wanted. Sneha, do you want that doll? Usually, most of the things, if I buy, then I buy it for her also. And if she buys, she buys it for both of us. Even if our families buy something, they buy for both of us. Okay. And she was asking me, Sneha, do you want that doll? And I was like, what? I didn't even notice it. So we still tease her by saying this. Okay, so what is she trying to do? She's trying to project her inner desire for that doll towards me. Understood? That is projection. Okay. Then, then. Mm. Now, I'll give you, we have enough time, no? So just take the five defense mechanisms. Find one example from any of it and tell me. Choose any one defense mechanism. Tell me a real life example. You can find it from the internet if you want. Lottery. Raina has started browsing. Sana, why is your video off? Got it? Tell. Which one did you choose? Raina.
Depression,
Repression. Okay.
like from my real life experience, like I have, I have very fear of dogs,
Hmm.
and I have like a memory that when I went to an auntie's home, there was a small dog, like there's a puppy. Whenever I see a dog, I used to run.
Hmm.
Hmm. This time, the dog is front of me. When I opened the door, I just ran,
Hmm.
and I just ran, and the dog caught me.
Hmm.
He bit me near the pants,
Hmm.
and I have just fear of dogs, like the puppies or the dogs will bit me when I go near,
Like me. Hmm.
bite me, and I've been fear of dogs since then.
Hmm. Fear of dogs is still in you?
Not now. I just leave it. I bought a dog now.
Ah, okay. So that would be since I told you, you're doing all these as an unconscious, in an unconscious way, isn't it? So she was scared of dogs. She's telling that she was scared of dog. She's not scared of dog now because she has a dog now. Okay, that might be another defense mechanisms which you're doing unconsciously. Hmm? That can be, I think, reaction formation. See, see what is reaction formation? Read it. A person defends against anxiety by adopting behaviors opposite to his or her true feelings. Understood? So you might have that fear inside you, which is you're not, which about which you're not aware of. That's inside your unconscious mind. So what you do is you just become the opposite of it, which means you're not feared. You told us that you're not afraid of dogs anymore, isn't it? But inside, you might have it. That might be the reason that you're behaving in the opposite way. Understood? Okay. And repression, yes, what you told is right. But repression, even if you're doing it, you might not know it. You might not be aware of it. Understood? Understood or not? Okay. Okay. Others. Others? Amal, did you find one? Tell, tell. No. Then find one fast. Helvina.
Yes, ma'am.
You'll tell me only if I ask you. Tell.
Denial.
Mm.
Um, in my real life, I had the problem of migraine
Mm.
for a long time, and when I was studying in 10th standard, I had really this problem of this migraine, and I really used to refuse the problem and going out like activities doing, because even my parents says that having migraine and like not doing our activities, because it became migraine will be more and more. So I used to refuse my migraine, and I just going out and doing activities that make me more happy.
Would you do it consciously in order to avoid the migraine?
Yes.
Then it might not be our ego defense mechanism, because we don't do, like, if you have that purpose in mind, I am doing this to avoid my migraine, then it might not be ego defense mechanism. Understood? That might be the usual defense mechanisms that we use. Understood? This denial, I told you example of the mother. She is not consciously doing it. She's not consciously feeling that her son is here. Understood? Unconsciously, she just laid a plate for him also. That is what happens. Most of the times it is like that. You are not aware of what you are doing. Okay. Then the example is good. I understood. Then
Reaction formation.
reaction formation.
Like when you have so many annoying people, then even if you can't show it in front of them that they are annoying, still you have to keep a smile on your face.
Behaving the opposite way. Yeah. But this example also, if you know that I have this annoyance towards these people and I am behaving this to just adjust socially, then that is not an ego defense mechanism. Like if you have a very much arrogance in your mind for them, but that person is your best friend, then you might we can say that that might be reaction formation. Understood? But how can we understand if we have these undesirable impulses in us? Only through psychoanalysis, if we dig deep inside our unconscious mind. So you never know, your best friend or the person whom you're caring for the most, you might have the opposite feelings inside your mind for that person, inside the unconscious. Understood? Yeah. Again, weird, I know. Then, why are the videos all off? Dishma, any other examples? Did you find any from the net?
And denial,
Denial.
like when you're in an argument, the other party is right, and you still continue to say that I am the one who's right, and deny that the other party is right.
So inside, you know that the other person is right, or you're unconscious. Yeah, if you're doing it
No, we
unconscious,
don't know, but still we think that like we are the right one. But
yeah,
after some time, we think it through, then we can understand the other party is right.
yes, that's true. Because if you're knowingly doing it just to win the argument, then that is not an ego defense mechanism. That is the usual defense that lawyers do. Criminal lawyers, what do? They know that they are arguing for a, or they are conducting a case for a criminal, but they try to make the part clear. That is the usual defense. But if you don't know that you are wrong, and then still you are arguing against something, then that means in your unconscious mind you are denying it. Understood? Unconscious mind, you know that you're wrong. In the only the unconscious part of your mind knows that you're wrong. And to escape that anxiety, you're denying the fact that you're wrong. So you in the conscious state are not knowing it. Okay, then only it becomes denial. Fine. Then
Ma'am, does phobias come under repression?
phobias come under repression? Not actually. When we study the disorder section, you'll understand. Like it's not like this. See, I told you, for phobia is a psychological disorder. Hmm? That has so many explanations. Like we can explain it in terms of psychodynamic approach, we can explain it in terms of cognitive approach, we can explain it in terms of behavioral approach, we can explain it in terms of humanistic approach. That day I told you, when we take the case, when we try to find the causes, if we don't get a cause in the behavioral theory, then we look into the psychodynamic theory. If we don't get an explanation in the psychodynamic theory, then we look into the other theories. That's why we are learning all the theories in a single as a single pack. In this also, we learned about the type theories of personality, trait theories of personality. We are at which approach? Psychodynamic approach. And next we are having post-Freudian approach, behavioral approach, humanistic approach, everything coming up. Okay. So phobia also you can explain in terms of this. Like, for example, you might have had, like Raina said, you might have had a very bad or traumatized childhood experience. Hmm? Because of that, you're still having phobia. Hmm? That might be explained in terms of psychodynamic approach. The early childhood experiences, that might be because of repression. You have repressed feelings in mind, and then it comes out as phobia in your later life. So repression is not working properly. That's why it's becoming into it's coming out into your awareness or conscious state. Understood? Okay. Then did anybody get another example? No. That's all. Okay, fine.
Ma'am,
Ah,
can I ask a similar doubt again?
yes, of course.
Ma'am, does Jamesco and deja vu come under rationalization?
No, that's a completely different phenomena. And actually, there is no clear-cut scientific explanation for why this is happening. I hope you all know what deja vu and all is. You feel like you have been in the situation in a previous situation in your life. You have already seen this, you have already gone through this. You feel like you have already said this dialogue earlier, you have already been in this particular scene earlier. Haven't you had? I have had. I usually have it. Day before yesterday also I had it. Yeah, that's not complete. I cannot say that it's completely related because very little scientific evidences are there for deja vu and all. Yes. So we have completed ego defense mechanisms also. So three topics done for psychodynamic, that is levels of consciousness, structure of personality, and ego defense mechanisms. Now, what is remaining is the most important, the most weird, and the most elaborate thing to learn, that is stages of personality development. Stages are very easy, but the thing that comes inside is even more weird than whatever we discussed till now. Okay? And we have some Greek or Roman stories coming up. There are 5 stages: oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. These are the 5 stages. And if anybody is planning to take up psychology after +2, this is there for degree, PG, MPhil, PhD, everything. Okay, so study this properly. 5 stages of personality development. It is called psychosexual development. Okay, the time is already up. I'm winding up. We have 2 more classes. We'll finish it today. I will try to finish. Okay, then thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.